Imperfects presents a very special episode. Sit back, relax, and grab yourself your own cup of vulnerability. This is the Vulnerabilitea House.
Okay, welcome back to our Vulnerabilitea House. This is our third...
It's always good when a terrible pun becomes normal. Like when you just say it like it's a normal thing. Welcome back to the Vulnerabilitea House, which of course needs no explanation.
I'm hoping people listening were inspired by our first two and they've set up their own vulnerability houses with their friends and...
Cameras, microphones.
Cameras.
Yeah, obviously we want to get a kickback from whatever you're selling. Like, it'd be unfair otherwise. Yeah, so the Vulnerabilitea House, this is a place, a tea house where people come, or it's just three of us usually. Yeah. We come and there's cards. We've got these bluey cards, which Hugh, you initially brought because they're the only cards we could find, but Bluey, the kids show. And then we've just written little questions on all the cards, and then and then the way that it works is that we put out three cards at random, face up, and then whoever is the one being vulnerable today it is Josh van Cuylenburg, and then you will choose one of the cards, with questions on it. They each have questions, and then you choose one of the questions that you'll then answer, which will be some sort of vulnerable answer of some sort. And of course, while doing that, we're drinking vulnerability.
Yeah, so we've got our vulnerability and we've got our bluey cards. And probably worth acknowledging for this episode also that it's Josh's turn, but when Josh signed up to this podcast...
It was purely for technical...
Yeah, he started off as our person who cuts the episodes and does all the stuff to make them a lot more listenable than they are in their original format. And all of a sudden, he's found himself a mic, which was great. Yep. And as the seasons progressed, he had more and more input. And now all of a sudden, he's found himself in a position where he's going to be revealing stuff.
My deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah.
I found I was so nervous the first time I got the mic on this, and I've gotten comfortable. And now I'm back to where I was when I first got. I'm so nervous about this episode. Were you guys very nervous?
Comfortable. Was I nervous
when it was your turn to do the vulnerability?
Yeah, a little bit, because what I spoke about my Jewishness, being embarrassed about my Jewishness as a kid, like and often that's the thing with vulnerability, is it's like you're talking about something that you've been ashamed about or something you haven't want to talk about for whatever reason. And for me, that was that. So yeah, I was definitely nervous.
Yeah, and if it makes you feel better, my job is being vulnerable every single day, and I was really nervous. Yeah. So do you want to pick your...
Okay.
Do the thing that you never signed up for?
Yep. Okay, I'll flip over the cards. Do I read them as they're getting turned over?
I reckon put them all... I'll put your cards on the table. Lay your cards on the table, and then you can read them out to us.
Yeah, it's
and just in case people are wondering what's behind the cards, he's actually drawn Rusty, Bandit, and Muffin.
Okay, for the
Bluey fans at home.
Yep.
And on top of those, we have three questions. First question is, what is a skill or ability that you've always overestimated to other people?
Wow. Overestimated to other people?
I guess that means sort of overcompensate, like...
Oh, like
does that mean like you've overplayed, oversold it to other people?
Yep.
Yeah. What is an achievement or accolade or a compliment you've received in your life that you didn't deserve, and why?
Oh, such a good question.
Yeah.
And then the third one, what is an embarrassing event? What embarrassing event has had a permanently detrimental effect on you?
Wow.
Okay,
Jesus.
Sorry, just as your brother who knows everything about your embarrassing moments. That third question, we could do a whole week on that.
I think I know the one you're thinking of.
It would go, this would become like the most listened to in the country. Not by our parents, right?
Okay, Josh. Well, you choose one.
I reckon. I don't think I've got anything I haven't really achieved much, so there's nothing for that one.
Not true.
What's the skill or ability? I don't have a lot. I don't think I've got a very interesting answer. I think I'm going to go with the embarrassing one, actually.
Oh, here we go.
Seeing as you brought
Can I answer it for you?
I'm not sure.
No,
the one I'm thinking of saying I'm not sure you know about. You might, right? Okay. But I'm not 100% sure you do.
Okay.
I've had plenty of embarrassing moments that probably don't need to be analysed. They're just embarrassing. But so this would be 12 years ago. I was about 22, I think. Me and Soph had only been dating for a while, and she invited me to a party with a friend of hers, or a friend of hers party that I know quite well now, but at the time I'd never met before. Firstly, the start of the embarrassment was I was told it was a dress-up party, and so I dressed up and got there, and it wasn't a dress-up party.
Hang on. Okay, so what did you dress up as?
Well, the crowd, they're a really sort of arty alternative crowd.
Yeah.
So they actually thought I just looked pretty cool when I got there.
What were you wearing?
I think I went as like a 1950s kind of James Dean style thing. Yeah. So I was just in like leathers and slick back hair, and it wasn't a look I was going for at the time, but it wasn't.
You haven't walked in the SpongeBob SquarePants,
Big Bird or something. Yeah. This guy's pretty alternative.
Wow, look at that makeup job. That is unbelievable. Okay, so you're at the party.
And so, so I was wearing this leather jacket, which Hugh, you might remember, was Dad's brown leather jacket that he had from the 70s.
Yeah,
the big wing tips.
Which he wore quite seriously as like a fashionable thing, and then we wore it for every single dress-up thing we ever went to for the rest of our lives.
So he's probably a bit offended by that.
Yeah.
The theme again is worst jackets. Dad, can I borrow that leather jacket that you wear seriously?
And so we get to the party, and I've just ended up talking to a group of people I'd never met before. There's about 10 of us sort of standing in a circle having drinks outside, probably around a fireplace or something like that. And I was wearing that leather jacket for the James Dean look, and this guy next to me was pretty brazen, and he kind of just leant forward and goes, "What's that?" and grabbed a book out of my pocket that was in the top collar.
Yeah.
In the top pocket, sorry. And I was in a band at the time and was really trying to. I thought music was the thing for me, and as soon as he grabbed it, my heart sank because I'm like, "Oh, they're me trying to write song lyrics."
Wow!
And he opens it up.
It's a little notebook
of lyrics, and he opened it up and started reading them aloud, and was trying to like work out what it was. And I panicked and just said, "Oh, I don't know, this is my mate's jacket. I just borrowed it from him. I don't know what that could be."
That's a pretty good cover.
And he was like, "I think is this like poetry or lyrics or something?" And then he started laughing at them. And he read it out loud, and then he's like, "Oh, this is amazing." And I was so embarrassed. I just sort of laughed along with it. And he then passed it to the person next to him, and the notebook got passed around the circle to every single person in the story, in the circle, and everyone read a page from the notebook and took the piss out of how bad the lyrics were and how bad the poetry was. And then it ended up back on me, and I read a page and took the piss out of my own attempts to write.
Do you remember what it said?
It's devastating.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I remember.
You don't need to say.
I remember the topic actually, give it up too, and I was so embarrassed and so ashamed at how bad they sound. Because I mean, in hindsight, lyrics sound terrible. Like the best lyrics in the world would sound bad in that context, but these were not the best lyrics in the world. They were 22-year-olds attempted it, but it's kind of had. I think it's had a permanently detrimental effect thing on me because I've never, ever tried to write lyrics again for music, and I tried to write music for a long time, but I just switched that part of it off. And I've never really tried to write anything else again. And my career is, well, now it's kind of bringing other people's ideas to life and filming other people's things. But I don't know if it was from that point or that feels like part of the story that I've never really wanted to ever write anything of my own.
Wow.
Because I just feel that it's all going to be that bad.
Yeah.
And it's going to get passed around a circle and people are going to laugh at it.
Yeah. And the fear, it's just, I don't know. I just can't seem to write anything, even though I'd like to quite make something of my own that could be quite good. I feel like I'm quite good at, I guess everyone's good at judging other people's work. And I think I'm not bad at bringing other people's ideas to life. but I just can't do anything of my own, and I feel like it stems from that
moment.
Potentially.
As your older brother, my hatred for this brazen person is something I've never felt before.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too much to blame him, but
they just grab someone's notebook and start reading it.
Yeah.
It's a bit aggressive, but
yeah.
I mean, shit. That's
anyway.
Wow.
But it is. But like that, it's so I can so understand that feeling where you so have you ever tried to like write lyrics again? Have you ever sort of sat down or
a couple of times, and I get like two lines in, and I'm like, this is so bad. You guys had sent me the Jerry Seinfeld podcast where he talks about writing.
Yeah.
And he talks about how you need to spend a day just like thinking everything you've done is amazing. Take a day, pat yourself on the back, then come back.
Yeah.
It's like that critique, and it's like their voices in that circle, and the critique comes in like 30 seconds after the words hit the page, and I just can't seem to switch it off. Yeah.
Ryan, you wouldn't have seen Josh before. Oh, no, you have seen Josh perform before.
At your wedding.
Yeah, my wedding, yeah. Like, he's extraordinary.
Yeah, the lyrics are a bit weird, but... No, unbelievable. It was so great. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know you that well back then.
No.
Yeah, so I was just like, here's some musician. Like, Hugh's brother's a musician. Cool.
Wow.
So anyway, that's my...
Wow.
Vulnerability.
God, that just must happen I mean, that is the brutality. I mean, that wasn't at school,
no,
was it?
But felt like a school kind of
thing.
Yeah,
it feels like a school thing.
Especially because you've got Soph there who you're still trying to make a good impression on, and you've got to be in control and like...
And also when you're young and you don't know a group of people, I feel like me now, I would be pretty quick to dismiss that guy and them as like, well, they're the dickheads in this situation.
If you're to go back in time and the guy starts to grab the notebook, what would you do with the...
If it happened now, or if I went back in time to being 22 again?
If it happened now.
I'd probably take it back. I'd tell him what it is and just say it's personal and take it back. Because I still think the lyrics are never going to, even if they were actually good, they're never going to sound good in that context. Yeah. So there's nothing good comes of them being read. Lyrics need to be performed to be good.
Yeah.
And so, I would have just been honest and said, that's personal. That's my lyric book. I'm trying to write lyrics and put it back. And
no, let's have a look. Okay, let's read it. Okay, here we go. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Oh, Josh, that is just brutal. It's such a brutal thing because you can't... Yeah, at that time, I would dare say that even if that happened to me now, I wouldn't... Because I can imagine how quickly that happened. Like, it happened so fast that you're caught off guard. Yeah, it's horrible.
And also because one of your superpowers is socially, like in that kind of environment, in a party, that's your thing. Like, I thought no one does a party better than you do.
I wouldn't say that, but thank you for saying it.
But then also you're there with Sophie, so like here's an opportunity to like be impressive. That's a very like, it's almost like the most impressive thing to do here is to be in on the joke rather than be the joke. So I'm just going to like, so I can completely understand why you do that. It's a very understandable thing to do. It's just
I just wish it hadn't had that effect. And maybe it's not just that. It could be a lot of other things as well. But
having now said it out loud, like here, have you spoken to people?
I have told a couple of people that before.
Yeah.
I
just haven't been able to get past it for whatever reason.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I know these are meant to be short episodes we're doing here, but I'd love to just keep going on this one. I said to my psychologist a while back, and I told you this, Josh, but I said, I feel how Josh feels. Like whatever Josh is feeling, I take on that emotion. Like I know how he feels, and I just can't help that. Like, and I've realised it's the same with Benji. I have the same with Benji. Whatever he's feeling, I just feel that same thing. And so hearing that, like that happened to you when you were 22, and I wasn't there to like, I don't know, protect you or like to stop that happening or to understand, read the play and like, I've never punched him in my life, but probably punch him in the face would be my response.
That's probably that's the healthier response in that situation. Just
you could spend the rest of your life inventing a time machine.
I mean, that story is triggering for me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not that. To be honest, it's like it's something I feel like I probably should have gotten over, and maybe I'm attributing too much of my inability to write good concepts and come up with whatever in the. I mean, you're a writer, so you.
Yeah, because I think
really
writing
understand
something
the journey of writing.
Yeah, but writing something personal is pretty horrifying at the best of times.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, even if you haven't had an experience, I reckon writing like I've never written a song. Well, actually, that's not true. I did write a song when I was in year 10. But you know,
do you still have it somewhere?
Probably. I can
Next
remember,
episode.
I can remember a few lines.
Have you ever written a song?
It'll never be repeated. But even like in all seriousness, like to write something honest is very. It's scary anyway. So let alone having to kind of overcome this sort of like trauma essentially to do it.
Yeah, a mild level. Privileged trauma.
Yeah,
or something.
Oh
no, I don't think privileged trauma. That's like a nightmare, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a bit disappointed the story wasn't the time you turned up to a Titan White theme party in your cricket whites, in your Greg Chappell hat, but that's all right.
What's Titan White party?
That was just the dress theme. It was like Titan White.
Oh, and you came in just your baggy.
I think it was white and red. I think it was. It was like
right. I thought it was
Christmas.
Titan White. Right,
White
okay,
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And everyone looked a lot cooler than I did.
Cricket whites.
Well,
thank you, Josh. That's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, terrible that happened.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. That was terrible.
Well, at least it happened. Good it happened. I had something to talk about. I didn't have to answer the other two.
But I think it'd be really nice if we ended the episode with a song from you. An original, honest song.
Make the lyrics very clear, though, so
Acapella.
Acapella. No warm-up.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, that's really
Thanks,
good
guys.
vulnerability, Josh. I hope, I don't know, the process of sharing that is you know, helpful in some way for you or anyone
Hopefully.
listening.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to help someone else, but
There'd be a lot of people who like want to write and then can't for whatever reason, I reckon.
yeah.
Totally.
Well, thank you for joining us at the Vulnerabilitea House once again. Maybe put the feelers out and see if any guests want to come into the tea house.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who feels like they want to jump in the Vulnerability House with us.
Yeah. Drink some vulnerability.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It might be good to do it within the theme of the original theme as like really well-known people, maybe. If you're a well-known person and you're listening to this.
Yeah, but like well-known.
Extremely.
Yeah. Like if you're like Oprah, yes, definitely. Oprah can come.
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, very well-known.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe's kids, not well-known enough. Anyway.
Russell Coit?
Russell Coit, yes. Very
definitely.
well known.
We'll take Glenn Robbins, absolutely.
In character.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us once again. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.